Good morning, friends. Today, in this lecture, I am going to start an important applied portion of your syllabus that is mentioned in Unit 3, and the topic is selection. So, here in this topic, we will be applying all the knowledge that we have received in previous two units, that is Unit 1 and Unit 2, which includes the statistics and the principle of animal genetics and population genetics. So let us start with the selection. So what selection intended to do? So selection gives a breeder that means a intervener, a person who is intervening in the animal management, or you may say the human. In case of artificial selection, we will study in the latter part of the lecture that selection is mainly two types, natural and artificial. So in case of artificial selection, that is selection that is performed by human, that human is called as breeder. So breeder, what breeder intended to do, he want to change the properties of population. So how he will change the properties of population? Why he want to change the property of population? Because he want to improve the potential of the animal he is having. What potential? Production potential or reproduction potential or whatever potential he is intended to do. So he want to improve the production, reproduction or any other kind of potential of the individual or the animals that he is having. So how he will change the properties? Properties means suppose the cows or the farm he is having, the average milk production of farm is 5 liter. Now he want to change the properties of population. That means he want to increase the milk production. His aim is to get 10 liter average 10 liter milk production from that farm. So now he want to change the properties of population. So how he will change the properties of population? The first thing he can do, he can choose the individual. He can choose the individual from population, and those individual he will allow those individual to reproduce. He will allow those individual to reproduce. That means he will choose the animal from his population, and those animal will be allowed to become parent. Those animal will be allowed to become parent, and that is called as selection. That is called as selection. So what selection means? Selection means that the choosing of animal and allowing them to produce next generation, or choosing the animal to act them as a parent. So the first weapon the breeder is having is the selection. What other weapon that breeder is having, or what other ways, in what other ways he can change the properties of population? So another weapon, another arms the breeder is having is the way in which the parents are mated. So first he choose the animal to act as a parent for next generation. Now he will decide how these parents are going to mate. That means suppose you are having a population of 100 cow, and now you are choosing 10 cow from, or suppose you are having a population of 100 animals, 100 cattle, which includes both male and female. Now out of these 100 animal, you chose 5 male animal and 5 female animal based on its potential. Suppose its growth potential. You want the animal with highest body weight should be selected, or your aim is to increase the body weight of animal in next generation. So you chose 5 male animal and 5 female animal, best performing 5 male and 5 female. Now you are having 10 animal, which includes 5 male and 5 female. So first thing you did is you selected these 10 animal to become parent in next generation. Now the second thing is that how these 5 male and 5 female should be mated with each other. Which animal should mate with which male should mate with which female? So is there any criteria? If so, what are those criteria? So that is called as mating system. That is called as mating system. So now, with the help of selection, what we are doing, with the help of selection, we are changing the array of gene frequency. We have already studied in the population genetics what is gene frequency and genotypic frequency. And you have also studied that in case of if there is no selection, mutation and migration, there will not be any change of gene and genotype frequency in the subsequent generation. But here what our aim is, with the help of selection we want to change the gene frequency. We want to change the gene frequency, but the thing is that the gene is completely hidden. You cannot see gene in an animal. So what you will see? You will see the trait expressed by those genes, effect of those genes. That means that if the trait is growth or body weight, so you cannot see the genes associated with the body weight, but you can see the body weight. So indirectly you are changing the gene frequency. You are selecting, you are choosing the animal based on its body weight. That means you are selecting based on the body weight, and you are increasing the gene frequency of those genes who are responsible for more body weight. Okay, so the problem is that the genes are completely hidden. We cannot deal with the individual loci, that we have already discussed. We cannot deal with the individual gene or individual loci concerned with the metric character. So what we will deal with? We will deal with the metric character itself. Metric character means the character which are measurable. So we will deal with the metric character, and indirectly we want to change the genetic property or the gene frequency of the individual or genotype frequency of the individuals or population. So this is how a breeder will work. He is having two options, or he is having two choice. He has to make two choice, or he will strategize in two way. First, he will choose the animal which become parent for next generation, and second, he will decide which animal should be mated with which animal, which male should be mated with which female. That is called as mating system. So now, getting the primary idea of selection, will proceed further. So we have already discussed, just I will read it. Effect of selection therefore can be described in terms of observable properties. What are those observable properties? The growth rate or the milk yield. And how you will measure the growth or milk yield? How you will measure the body weight or milk yield of a population? So you will measure the milk yield or body weight of population in terms of means, variances, covariances. That is why in the first unit in biostatistics we have studied about the measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, etc. So with that knowledge we will find the mean variance of the trait that we are going to study. So though we have to keep in mind that the underlying cause of this change is the change in gene frequency. Although we are studying the mean or variance of the metric trait or character in study, but we have always to keep in mind that these traits are being governed by gene, and whatever we are doing, we are actually changing the gene or genotype frequency. Since we cannot see gene directly, that is why our approach is indirect. Our approach is indirect. Now, so coming to the selection. So what we are doing in selection, suppose this is the generation 1 or current generation, which I have indicated by G0, and of this the animals present in G0 generation will mate with each other and produce the G1 generation, that is progeny generation. This is the parent generation and this is progeny generation. Now what we are doing, our intention is to change the genetic property of the population, and this, whether the change has been taken place or not. So how we will know? So we will assess by comparing the successive generation at the same point of life cycle. What we will do, we will compare the different two generation. We will compare the individuals of G0 generation and G1 generation. And how you will compare? We will compare at the same point of life cycle, same point of life cycle. Suppose here we have taken the cow of 2 year, cow of 2 year stage. We have taken measurement in the cow of 2 year stage. Here also you will take the measurement on the cow of 2 year stage. So you will not do that. You will take measurement here on calf and here you will take measurement on adult. This will be there will be wrong interpretation of this comparison. So you have to compare the animals of two different generations at same point of life cycle, and this same point of life cycle, the time period between the same point of life cycle is called as generation interval. This is very important in selection. The generation interval is very important while performing selection. So you have to remember the basic concept of generation interval. So this generation interval will be very important when we will be calculating the response to selection or many other things. So the time interval between the same point of life cycle is called a generation interval. So if you are comparing, you have to compare between the generation at same point of life cycle. So that with that you will be able to know whether genetic properties has been changed or not. So now parents are selected after the measurement of particular trait. Gene frequency among these selected individuals are different from what they were in the whole population before selection. So what you are doing, just see what we are doing. Suppose this is the G0 generation. So we will choose few individuals based on the production potential or any potential. So these are the male animals and these are the female animals. So how we are choosing? Suppose before selection the mean was X bar. Now after selection of these male and female, the mean will be x1 bar. So definitely, if you have understood the concept of this selection, you will tell that this x1 bar will always be greater than x bar. X1 bar will always be greater than x bar, because we have selected animals, or this male and female animals, based on its improved production. So that is why the average of these selected animal will always be higher than the average of the individual before selection. So that is why this point is telling that gene frequency among these selected individuals are different from what they were in the whole population before selection. So we will again further take these issues when I will be telling you about the response to selection and various terms associated with the selection. Now we have already discussed there are two types of selection: natural selection and artificial selection. Natural selection and artificial selection. So what artificial selection is? Here the breeder will intervene. And divide the population. We have already seen, and divide the population in two groups: selected group and discarded group. So based on its production performance or reproduction performance, breeder will divide the whole population into two parts: selected and discarded. And these two portions will be definitely differing in the gene frequency. That is why the phenotypic difference is there. That is why there is difference in the performance. Why? Because there was difference in gene frequency. Now in case of natural selection works in two ways. The first is by the fertility of the parent. So few of the parents that you have selected will not be fertile. Or if nature want to select or reject individual, it will play with the fertility of the parent. The animals who are not fertile, they will not contribute to the next generation and they will automatically get rejected. Another way the nature work is the viability of progeny. So the progeny that is going to be produced, they will not be viable. and that viability will start from the embryo stage. So there may be early embryonic death, there may be late embryonic death, there will be there may be abortion, there may be calf mortality, there may be neonatal mortality. So many of the things associated with the progeny or that will affect the viability of the progeny. So those if there is no viability of the progeny, that means that particular genotype is rejected, that is not being selected. So in this way the nature will bring about the difference in gene frequency. So you know how breeder will bring about the difference in gene frequency and how nature will bring about the difference in gene frequency. Now to sum up, you can see the selection at two stage. First stage is at parent stage, and second stage is at progeny stage. Now you know the artificial selection only works on the parent stage. How? Because we are choosing few individuals and making them parent for next generation, allowing them to reproduce for the next generation. So we are interfering with the parent. Whereas if you see the natural selection, it is interfering at two stage. First as at parent stage by by interfering with its fertility, and second is at progeny stage by interfering with its viability. So the selection is taking place at two stages, parent stage and progeny stage, and natural selection intervene at both the stages, parent stage and progeny stage, whereas artificial selection intervene at parent stage only. Now with this introductory portion of the selection is completed. Now in from next class onward we will be seeing the different bases of selection, and later on we will be seeing the different methods of selection. Thank you.